This banner illustrates the pedigree of the New World Translation 2013 edition, right from the earliest Greek writings. When we were discussing about the Hebrew portion of the Bible, the Old Testament, we then come now into the New Testament or Greek Scriptures portion. And what happened was, about 200 years before Christ was born, many Jews were living in Egypt and other parts of the ancient world, and therefore desired to have the Hebrew portion of the Bible translated into Greek, the Greek language that had spread around the ancient world through the work of Alexander the Great and then his 4 generals after that. So here we find illustrated the manuscripts that scholars have to go to get copies of the Bible of the time and see if they are trustworthy copies. Now, they were written on papyrus or on skins, and the Chester Beatty papyri in Dublin, in Ireland, are there for all to see. So at least for the first 500 years of the Christian era, the writings of the apostles and the words of Jesus were written in Greek. About 500 to 600, it switched over to Latin. But when Bible translators are looking for sound texts for translating the Bible into any other language, we have to find, illustrated here, are the texts that were used. So there were some famous texts: Sinaitic manuscript, which we have a copy of, Alexandrine, the Vatican 1209, we have facsimiles of those here, the Erasmus text. Now, 1516, Erasmus translated from the earlier copies of the Greek scriptures, and he formed a Greek text which then European translators used. So we have a copy of the Erasmus text and the Stephanos texts. So they were written in Greek. Then on top of that foundation, a very solid foundation, William Tyndale was able to produce the Bible in English. Other Bibles were produced in Spanish and in German. And then as far as the English is concerned, the authorized version, and the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society have used the Westcott and Hort text as well as other Hebrew texts, and all of them have used God's name. We see it illustrated there and throughout. So that's why Tyndale was able to put in his English translation the name Jehovah. He introduced the word Jehovah. Previous to that, it was Yehovah or Yahweh. So that's why in the English-speaking world, we're quite used to using God's name Jehovah. Now, since then, we now have the New World Translation in over 120 languages, over 200 million copies. And God's name has been reinstated in the whole Bible 7,216 times.